Well, before we start, let me just explain this. I don't know if this is going to work as a microphone like I'm hoping. I don't have a microphone. I don't have enough money to spend on smart things. Instead, I go ahead and I spend $950 plus more on this. Now, if you didn't see my previous video, which pretty much nobody did because I have no subscribers, this is my 2004 Land Rover Freelander project. I bought it April 8th this year with a bad head gasket, and it was probably the biggest financial mistake I've ever made. Now, I'm only 19 years old, so I've got a lot more opportunity to really screw myself over on future projects, but for the amount of money I make, this is pretty good enough for now. So, a little background is like I said, I bought this on April 8th in Provo, Utah, a little ways away. And I attempted to drive it back home with my friend. Now, it broke down about 10 to 12 times, obviously, because it has a bad head gasket. It's not going to make it very far. And it wasn't fun getting it home, but we eventually did. After I had to call my dad, he had to come and drive the car the rest of the way home. So it took several months until we got it into the garage, and it's been in here since September because it's a new car that we've never worked on before, and it's really difficult to work on, and I'll explain why. Feast your eyes on the Rover K-Series V6. Well, what's left of it. It's been 2 months every weekend working on this thing, and the most we've gotten on was just one single head. We've taken the entire car apart, the entire top half of the engine, and it's all over our garage floor here. And we have multiple heads because we got a few out of the junkyard, but they ended up being bad, so that's epic. I'll give you a small tour of it in my garage. Oh yeah, that's that kind of rugged door sound that you want out of an SUV. Bolts in the door panel. What a surprise. Here's the interior. It's not too bad, to be honest. It really isn't. Got some gauges there, one of which is a bit more important than the others. See if you can guess which one. Down through the center console, we've got just a normal radio, which works. It's all right. Got air conditioning. It's not automatic, which is, oh well. An automatic transmission with manual shifting for when you really want to do those spirited drives down a mountain road. Normal parking brake, which works, I think. Switch right here for the rear window. Yeah. Rear window rolls down and back up like a 4Runner. I got another switch ready to go in because that one's broken. Center console. That's a bit squeaky. This is for the sunroof, which also does work. The sunroof cover has this weird pattern thing on it. And for some reason, it's really hard to open. But the sunroof does work, last time I checked. Got a couple blank switches right here, which is a bit weird because this is the HSE trim, which the HSE is like the top of the line. That's the one that's the true baller spec on a Freelander, or indeed a lot of Land Rovers. So I'm wondering, why are there blank switches here? It turns out that these blank switches are the window switches on the 3-door Freelander, which I will show you now. The 3-door Freelander exists. I didn't know that they were sold in United States, so if I had known, I would have waited to get a 3-door one. They have a removable softback or hardback, and they're just generally a lot cooler. Like I said, the only reason I didn't buy one is because, well, A, they're pretty hard to find, Five-door Freelanders are already hard enough to find, um, especially in good condition. I just didn't know that that they existed. So, well, I knew they existed. I didn't know that they sold them in the United States. So, oh well, right? So, moving through the interior, I got cup holders up here, which is kind of neat. I mean, you could like put a drink in there, and then in the summer it'll just start boiling. That's a clock, which you can't see. There's my dashboard ornament. Got ourselves a glove box here with the title and the bill of sale still signed because I haven't gotten it registered yet, even though I bought it nearly 8 months ago. So I can't really open the back door because the bumper's in the way, which I'll explain why the bumper's here. But the back end of the car is just filled with a bunch of spare parts that I got with it, like a spare tire, some different wheels, a bunch of used crap, like used brake rotors for some reason. Why would you save that? But I don't know. This is really all I can show you of the back end of the car right now. It's it's got 18-inch wheels, which I hate. I don't like the look of these wheels, but once I get it running, I'm just gonna put the other wheels on it because it looks a bit too blingy for my taste. I don't know if I sound ridiculous when I say that, but we're gonna go into detail on the ownership experience of this car, and it hasn't been very good, obviously. So after I bought it and got it home, it was waiting around, just sitting around like my driveway and stuff for a long time. Then we finally started working on it. Sorry if I'm moving the camera around too much. I'm not good at this. Finally got to start working on it, and we quickly realized that everything is hard to reach because of the transverse V6 in here. All the bolts were massively tight. It's got 3 timing belts. 3, which is, a bit strange. It's got 2 for the camshafts right there, and then it's got one big one that goes around the crankshaft and stuff. So that's cool. The exhaust manifold's down there, which you have to unhook to get the head off, and that's why we had to take off the bumper, is because we couldn't reach one bolt on the exhaust manifold. I originally thought we found a broken hose. I believe it was this one right here. It was blown and water was flowing out of it. So we were like, oh, is that the source of the problem? Because the guy that I bought it from, he had the head gaskets done 17,000 miles ago, which is a little bit weird that they'd be gone so quickly. So he'd already replaced the radiator and the water pump, which is one of the reasons why I bought it. It's had some stuff done. I thought, oh, maybe that's what's wrong with it, and we fixed that hose, which wasn't very hard, and it wasn't the problem. So we ended up starting to take the car apart. Took the valve covers off, and they were filled with just disgusting sludge. And it smelled really bad. When I took the oil filter off, I was met with just the most disgusting, it was like yellowy mustard, and it smelled like a mixture of diarrhea and like rotten eggs. Like I'm not even kidding. It smelled so disgusting and nearly gagged. And it was slimy. It's like, how was this car running? It was running like decently well for, a couple minutes until it overheated. It's like, how was this car running? Like at all with that crap just inside of it. But so as much as I want to hate on this engine, you got to give it that for being able to run with that crap in it. But yeah, it's fair to say that I've bitten off more than I can chew. It's a really hard car to work on. I didn't think it was going to be so hard. I come from a family that owns a couple of older Range Rovers and Discoveries, and we've done head gaskets on those. So I was like, hey, this is a V6 car, and it's like the cheaper Land Rover of the age of like what we normally buy. So it should be easy to fix up and easy to own, right? No, don't ever buy a Freelander. Just don't. If you want something like this, get a Honda CR-V, because that's what everyone thinks this thing is anyways. It looks like a Honda CR-V. It looks like a cross between a Honda CR-V and a Toyota RAV4, and everyone makes fun of you for that. So you're not getting anything out of owning this car. You're just not. If you want a Land Rover, a cheap Land Rover, buy a Discovery. If you want a smaller off-roader like this with like a spare tire on the back that looks kind of nice, get a Honda CR-V. Don't ever, ever buy one of these. I'm warning you all now. Especially if you don't make that much money. Terrible, terrible, terrible project car. And I won't be surprised if it keeps on going and if this project keeps on going until like past the new year. I won't be surprised. And this car is a whole lot to live up to when it's done. It's got to be seriously, seriously, seriously good for me to want to keep it. But anyways, that's my short update on this Freelander. There will be more to come, obviously, because we're just putting it all back together. So, but it's going to be a while before it's done. But when it's done, I might want to do some cool stuff with it. Let me know in the comments what you want me to do. If you want me to scrap it, then, you can comment that too, because I'm getting close to that point. So, thank you for watching. I'm still new at this sort of YouTubing thing, so I'm trying my best. So be nice in the comments, but I'm trying my best. I'll get better from here, I promise. So, yeah. If you like this video, then cool. Thank you for watching. With manual shifting for when you really want to do some spirited... What is going on? I can't zoom out. Hold on a second. Okay, I got it. So, yeah, an automatic transmission.